Hi, I'm Mark,
And I'm Carissa.
and we're
Set
set
on
on Sainthood.
Sainthood.
Thank you so very much for joining us again today. We are going to Padua, Italy. Saint Anthony is just amazing. He has such a big impact for really being known for such small things. But it was really amazing to go and see his relics. And you notice here that people are praying and touching his tomb. Before we had come by, everybody was just kind of walking and taking photos. But then when we left, after we had prayed for many of you, because St. Anthony is known as one of the seven miracle worker saints, everybody else started to come by and venerate his tomb, which was really beautiful. But his tomb is not including all of him. There was a quite strange but maybe wonderful reliquary.
You might notice there's actually his jawbone with some of his teeth, and then also his tongue, because St. Anthony was actually a really, really impressive preacher.
Yeah, so going a little bit to his story, as Carissa was saying, he is actually from, I believe, Portugal. And he had heard of these amazing Franciscans who traveled from Europe all the way down to Morocco. That's not very far away. You can see the boats there. And they were martyred for their faith, for evangelizing, and became saints. And he says, man, that sounds like a really great way to become a saint. I'm going to do that too. So he actually hops on a boat after becoming ordained and so forth, and he's going on mission. And God had a different mission in mind and blew the boat off course, and he landed, I believe, in Sicily, Italy at the very least, and ends up getting assigned here in Padova. It makes such a big difference to their hardened hearts because God sent so many signs, including his preaching to the fish when he was frustrated with the people of Padova or elsewhere not listening to him. He began to preach out to the sea, and all the fish came and listened to him. And the locals were utterly awestruck, which is incredible. God has some crazy signs sometimes, but those signs are there to help us to come to more full belief. And throughout the life and death and all of his intercession, this miracle worker, St. Anthony of Padua, has made such a profound impact, not only around the world, but especially in our lives.
I started asking him to find much bigger things. Like the last time I was looking for a job, along with St. Cajetan, as I mentioned before, the two of them helped me to find a new job. So don't be afraid to ask St. Anthony to help you find much bigger things than just your keys and wallets. Thank you so much for joining us today as we visited one of our favorite saints, St. Anthony of Padua. We are excited to see you again tomorrow for another amazing adventure.